Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to the Slowest Blitz, where we are playing Asphodel. This is turn 26, and I'm going to try to make this one less rambly than it was last time. I was very rambly last time. And we're kind of doing this one a little cold. So all of these turns are done recorded after the fact, but most of the time I go into them and kind of try to re-get a feel for the turn and understand what's going on. But we're not doing that on this one. We're just diving into it, and we're going to check it like it's a new turn. So we did Alt 5, very cool. Would be nice to have Mother Oak. We did all Evocation 3 on our way up to Enchantment 4. So we got an At the End of the Rainbow, found nothing. Got a Carrion Centaur. Another At the End of the Rainbow, found nothing. Dark Knowledge finds a Graveyard of the Damned. That's good for us. Let's check that real quick. So that is a 2 death site, bringing our death income up to 3, which is fantastic. Because death 3 is what we need, or 3 death income is what we need to be able to continuously cast Dark Knowledge. Wait, is it 4? Dark Knowledge 4? I never remember. Dark Knowledge is 4! Ugh! Okay, well, wait. Has it always been 4? Most of them are 2. Is Arcane Probing is the 3. That's what it is. Right. So, Arcane Probing and Dark Knowledge are easier to cast, but they're more expensive. They both only cost or require 1 level to cast them. So, they're easier to be able to cast than any of the twofers, but they both cost more. So, that is what it is. Spoilers! I just can't make a damn decision, can I? Okay, so we can see we have 2 Call of the Wilds coming at us because this is the magic phase. So man hurls a Call of the Wild over here. We are not going to survive against that many wolves. Oh, especially not when they get around. Oh no, my dude. Okay, well, we lose that. Has been beaten. Yep. Then we get Call of the Wild in Shade Forest, but... Nope, no buts. No, well, a little butt. A little butt? We've got some mannequins here. We've got a second Hierophant. It's probably gonna yeah, it's not gonna matter. Not gonna matter. So, Shade Forest, we kill some wolves, we lose... Oh, he did not make it off on this. So, yeah, that's not great, but it is what it is. Unfortunate. We lose some people on marches, and then we have a whole bunch of battles. We can see Phaeacia unleashed. Damn it. Goodness gracious, Phaeacia. This is exactly what you love to see, though, right? Like, you don't want to see anyone roll over and die. You want to see them fight. Just... Why's it gotta be against me? Vanarus attacks Pythium and Pythium. Little stack here. Pythium has nothing. And I think we actually missed this. I think. So we saw the battle, I think it was 2 turns ago, maybe 3 turns ago, where Pythium came out with all of their gladiators and kind of got baited by Vanarus. Vanarus did a great job of summoning a whole bunch of chaff to really just get as many hits as they could off on Pythium's stack. I think it was last turn we kept our scout on Pythium, assuming that the battle would be there, but I think Pythium actually moved out and attacked Vanarus, and I think they lost really hard. And I think this is the remnants of that battle. I say the remnants. This is a fucking major army of Vanarus's side of the battle coming to finish Pythium off. I believe either that happened last turn and this is what's happening this turn, or that is about to happen. I don't remember 100%. So we are attacked in Levendalen. Well, hello, man. So, man moves the massive stack of Scary Knights all off on the sides, everywhere. Great formation. You know, you see a lot of people misscript their formations like this. You'll see, you know, the really big lines, and they won't script it, in which case most often the AI goes attack closest. So you have this big long line, and rather than running forward, the big long line goes into the middle and fights the closest thing. Or they'll actually script it as attack closest. But Man's a good player, and obviously this is just a tiny scripting thing, but they're not giving a lot of room for that error of like, oh, that's weird. Because if they were, we could try to exploit it. But with the attack rear command that they have going on, the line moves in a full formation straight forward, and that's going to catch anything that we have on the wings, and that's going to mean if we don't have anything on the wings, we'll be obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. So, interesting scenario there in Love and Dallin. We do see Man take Impassable Mountains back from... or Phaeacia take Impassable Mountains back from Man, attempting to get some income back, right? And they do actually have to send a little bit of a squad here, because Man's got some PD. But Mistforms, Lightning Bolts, and these Orichalcum Guard are going to be able to make short work of this. So that happens in Impassable Mountains. We get attacked in Frosted Peaks. So another little Call of the Wild stack coming forward. In a perfect world, we would probably have a couple of our Carrion commanders out with large stacks of mannequins to prevent these raids from working. But because of the deaths, the Goon Squad, and the potential for 10 knights running around, 10 knights can easily kill 100 mannequins. So it's definitely a concern, because we're trying to ramp up to a threshold. So by trying to make sure we ramp up to that threshold, we're unable to defend ourselves in the way that we would want to. We also get attacked in Phaeacia by Phaeacia, but it's just a ping. So just checking. We attack in Nom, trying to seal the fate. Phaeacia's got some slingers. These motherfuckers, I hate these guys as PD. They are so... But I say that every once in a while you get that that miracle one-shot where a sling dings someone in their head and rolls like a fucking atomic bomb. So our wolves do rout, but fortunately we have the long dead here. So yeah, in the real scenario, the wolves probably didn't even rout; they just killed everyone. Replay bug there. We are attacked in New Coast. We got a very small amount of PD here. It's unlikely. This is a great little goon raiding squad, right? Like, this guy's very protected. He's got great combat stats to begin with, but with Personal Mistform, he's very protected. Liquid Body. And then his buddies here just help prevent him from getting, like, too overwhelmed, from getting, like, really harassed down, that type of scenario. Obviously, if you have any real amount there, it'll be fine. But against PD, the PD has almost no hope of really winning this. So they take New Coast from us with a very nicely done raid. Optimal raiding is underrated. Underrated? I don't know. It's probably rated fair. It's an incredibly integral part of this game, and really min-maxing your rating like that, right? The decision between sending that Orichalcum guy, so those guys are on, take a look at it again, right? So these guys are on Guard Commander, right? You can have 5 as a base. right? But the decision between sending something like 5 on guard commander versus sending something like 3 versus sending something like 1 or 2 or none, each of those steps is a different commitment and a different amount of optimization. And I think 3 is just such a perfect optimization because of the size of these fuckers. They're size 4, right? And your real goal is to always have one guy with him, because if there's a guy in the square with him, that guy's going to eat some of the attacks. But then also have a guy preferably on either side of him. And if you bring 5, you can pretty much guarantee that, right? Because you'll have 1 with you, 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. But just bringing 3, because of the way they like to fucking move around, is pretty likely that they will do that anyways. Thereby, again, preventing him from being harassed down. And that's such a great little optimization of sending in a guy like this with 3 bodyguards instead of 5 bodyguards is choice. Anyways, moving on. We get attacked in Glistening Woods. And he does not undercommit this time. So we didn't leave anything here, but we can see, right? He's doing, Mana's doing almost fucking mirror moves in some of the shit we're doing, right? He's summoned in some killer mantises. This is great. This is great. And these guys are actually pretty decent against me because they do have high morale. They have a bunch of attacks, so they will kill a lot of mannequins. They're not especially defensive, so they'll get fatigued out and they'll die, but very good at matching up against my mannequins on like a wing or something like that. And again, the mindless morale scenario, they're not going to rout. So that's a pretty great matchup, I would think. We also get hit in Illidar by Phaeacia. Here's the stack. And this sucks. Oh, this is unfortunate because we just moved into, what was it? I don't remember the name of the province, but it's right next to Vaclez. And we had this stack moving in behind because we wanted to be able to hit Vaclez with both. And, so here goes all of this. And there's so much mage support. We're losing so many squares getting deleted that we're not even really able to fatigue out any of the front line to get some kills. I doubt we actually did anything here. Yeah, we didn't kill a single thing. Really unfortunate. Because we really wanted that goon squad there to be able to do some stuff. So, we attack in Pugria. And there's just a little bit of Manish PD here, so probably okay. Maybe not. Wolves have very bad morale. We were beaten. So we did not win that. And we're attacked in Black Harbor. Now, here's the upside is we lost that stack of 125 mannequins. He's gonna lose this stack of Colossi Light Infantry and this fucking Colossi Storm Captain, which is painful in his current situation. So, get the fuck out of here. Damn it. 14 Colossi Light Infantry, not a bad catch. Colossi Storm Captain, again, not a bad catch. He doesn't have that many mages. He only has Vaclez. So those are hard to replace. We also get attacked in Bycliff. So, and we can see for the first real, I say first real time, we kind of had a bump. We Call of the Wild did a stack of these guys previously, but that was less. That wasn't really intentional. We see now an actual intentional use of the longbowmen, and we can see how they are effective against our mannequin chaff, right? These guys in large numbers, longbows, great, especially if you could put just withers them. Enough monks on the side to banish out a lot of these flankers, though there weren't very many there to begin with. Yeah. Just brutal. This is going to be another stack of mannequins gone. Not a full stack or anything like that. We were moving around to pick people up. So unfortunate. More unfortunate is that we're losing these without really dealing any damage. Because if we lost this stack of mannequins, but we killed 10 or 15 longbowmen, that'd be fine, right? Like, obviously we don't want to lose that, but the attrition is worthwhile. But this is, again, kind of like that optimization of what can you expect to fight. This would take on 100 mannequins from us, kill them, and maybe lose a little bit, right? Like, depending on if we had a bunch of flankers and they hit the wing, maybe they'll lose a couple crossbows. If we hit them in the front with the landless knights, that's really hard to lose any there. This is a really well-optimized amount to hit a full stack of mannequins. Longbowmen, really fucking good against mannequins. Very, very good. Unexpected event in Muspel. Get some water gems. That's nice. I like that. Did some patrolling. Found some scouts. And... Oof. Okay. What the fuck are we doing here? Alright. Well, we're gonna do... Phaeacian Theater. We're doing this cold, so I do not know all of these moves ahead of time, so we're just going to check all these moves and see what's what. So it looks like we are hitting Vaclez with the intention of trying to put it under siege. So we're going to have a little squad of mannequins kind of like anchored in the center. We're going to do a hold and attack rear with some Jade Maidens being blessed. If there's not a lot of PD, we'll kill them. Jade Maidens are going to be pretty good for that. If he moves back patrols, that'll be a bunch of dead Jade Maidens, but it will be what it be, right? Alternatively, we are sending everything back to Illidar. Partially because if he moves to check Phaeacia and we move to check Vaclez, we should win that race, but it's going to be very hard to win the race, pop Vaclez, and get back to Phaeacia in time to save Phaeacia. So instead, especially with the fact that if we own Illidar, we can move through it and have a better time of moving on this side because of the forest, right? Rather than going through here. So we're going to consolidate on Illidar, hopefully catch him. Probably won't catch him. He has no reason to stand and fight here. Is what it is. We got to make the movements to cover our lines of maneuver. We're paying attacks. It is what it is. And then we're moving another stack out here. Again, some blessings. Also going to do some group barkskin, group blur over here. This is not a really optimized situation. This is very risky. This is a lot of gold. We've got a Carrion behemoth in here. But it's kind of what we had to utilize, and we don't want to allow him to keep this income. So we need to continue hitting every single time we can, right? So we got that going on. We are finishing recruitment of a Panic Apostate, getting more Jade Maidens. Very expensive. Painful. And yeah, that's kind of is what it is. This is trying to kill a Phaeacia around a damn pond. It's really unfortunate. Goodness gracious. This is a dance. This is a dance that Phaeacia could do for another 20 turns, depending on how hard man pressures me, right? Because I can't really send reinforcements down here to Phaeacia. I have to be able to fight man if he comes at me. So this is a great set of maneuvers from Phaeacia, being able to dance around this pawn, really, really making me work for the kill. It's fantastic, and I hate it, but it's fantastic. So what else are we doing? We don't have any recruitment here. Don't have any recruitment here. Sage and a bunch of heavy infantry here. Not really sure why. Panic Apostate finishing and some Black Centaurs here. Is this the time period? Yes. So we have now officially hit the point to where our recruitment points have dipped so low that we were getting 5 Centaurs a turn. Now we're only getting 4 Centaurs a turn. But Black Minotaurs still don't exist. Ignore them. So this is painful. Let's talk about what's going on up in the actual Manish proper first. So we've got a little attack coming in here with a new group of Centaur warriors after having lost the combined stack of 2 groups. We're going to go attack into Bandar and really probably focus on trying to counter up Phaeacia rather than man. At the same time, we're attacking in Gnome Peaks with a small group of wolves and in Simmery with a small group of wolves. This is a mistake. I'm going to call this out, and I should have known it was a mistake immediately. First off, we should not have both of these werewolves out. We should have combined stacks and sent one of the werewolves back to start recruiting more wolves. This is a very low likelihood of success. And we even saw this in Pugria already this turn, right? Like, this is 6 PD. This is Wolf Tribe, which is somewhat scary, but not like the scariest thing on the face of the planet. They're better than Militia in certain circumstances. They're better than... I don't know that I'd say they're better than the heavies. The double daggers are very killy against very squishy things. There's a very low likelihood of success with such small parties of wolves because they only need to lose 5 to 10 wolves for the whole fucking group to rout because they have very low morale, right? So this is kind of a... just not kind of. This is a very dumb move. Should have combined, should have attacked in a single location, should have sent one werewolf back. Our scrying pools are still up, which do allow us to really see what's going on. And he's bringing the fight to us. So I do kind of want to jump on Sylvania, but at this point, I don't want to jump on Sylvania for him to jump on Shadowglade. So instead, we are really focusing in on what can we do here, and how do we do it, right? So, right now, we are moving around. Again, just moving around. Most of the red circles you see every freaking turn are just me moving to collect units, right? We are counterattacking here in Frost Peaks with a small stack of mannequins. Probably likely to succeed as long as he doesn't reinforce everything. Low enough commitment that if he squishes this stack, it's not a big deal. We're also sending out our first little Black Dryad with a small stack of Killer Mantises, right? And we talked about this in the past, right? Like turning something like this into a raiding party. These guys are pretty decent little raiders. They can take on a fair amount of PD. And you can lead them with a Black Dryad because they have magic leadership. Put them in the back, bless them, put some buffs on them, just try to keep them alive. And these guys will generally do well against a couple of different rounds of 6 PD, and can, be okay. So we'll see how that goes. Any real cast? Another cast of At the End of the Rainbow. We don't have enough for a death income because we lost the fucking Graveyard of the Damned. No. Sadness hero. Wait, so we have 3... we have 3 death income without the Graveyard of the Damned, because we have this Carrion Grove, we have this Well of Pestilence, Where's our other one? Isn't there a list now? Yeah, we have a Forest of the Dead. So we have 3 without the Graveyard of the Damned. If we can keep the Graveyard of the Damned under control, we'll have 5. And then we can do a Dark Knowledge every single turn while still accruing some Death Gems, which we do want to site search our entire land. We would love to be doing it manually. We're at war. Kind of difficult to do that. So I think that's maybe it. Well, that's probably it, except for the big elephant in the room. The big elephant in the room. Fucking hell. I can't make a damn decision to save my life. I swear to God. So we did Alt 5. We popped Evocation 3. Evocation 3 gets us Shadow Bolt. It also does get us Arcane Probing. We're probably going to do some Arcane Probing, but mostly it was here for Shadow Bolt. That's the big thing that is here for us. Elf Shot is a potential option. So again, looking for things that we can do, trying to like optimize little situations. This is actually fairly interesting. I feel like Elf Shot normally isn't very useful, but against man, if they've got 65 fucking Knights of Avalon, and you have, it only takes Glamour 1, Nature 1, so every single Dryad Hag that we have can cast this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 Dryad Hags right now. And even actually every Black Dryad could cast this if you had recruited a bunch of Black Dryads instead, which is arguably a good idea from a research ability efficiency standpoint, right? If you did that, you could Elf Shot. You could have like a big front line of mannequins, and you could spam Elf Shots at these Knights of Man, and I think it potentially might actually be pretty good. I haven't tested this, but it does give you a precision bonus, it doesn't cost much fatigue, and it does do 100 fatigue damage. Only, again, issue is that it is magic resistance negates, and again, man, the Knights of Avalon have very good magic resistance, so you're not going to hit every time. Even every time that you do hit is not going to actually succeed, so, if you got 15 people popping off Elf Shots, 1 in 3 succeeding kind of concept, that could matter. That could definitely matter in the first couple rounds, right? Like, being able to put to sleep 5 to 10 of the Knights of Avalon out of a total of like 65 or something like that could actually sway the deal. But I don't know that. I kind of want to test this because I think this would be a really cool kind of like interaction. I haven't seen a lot of people, like I've seen in Dominions 5 where people use the sprites for fatigue plays, but I don't think I've seen a lot of people in Dominion 6 yet mess around with Elf Shot, because I think it's really only super useful in the concept of using it against like elite troops, right? Because you don't care about it if you're fighting like a 200 stack. You don't care about that, right? But fighting against a smaller stack of extremely elite troops, this could be pretty cool, honestly. We stopped going enchantment 6. I'm gonna say this, just like last turn, I don't know that trying to run for Rigor Mortis was going to be a good idea. But I will say, being non-committal and changing where you're going repeatedly is definitely not a good idea, right? It's that, what's what's the phrase or the adage where it's like, oh god, I can't remember. It's something along the lines of like it's better to commit and have made the wrong choice than not to commit at all, right? Is the generalized concept behind it. Because if you find yourself going back and forth and you don't achieve anything, that's worse than picking a direction and failing or being incorrect in it. Because, you know, if we were wrong to go for enchantment 6 and get rigor mortis, well then at least we're still at enchantment 6 with rigor mortis, right? But if we go, oh well, let's go for rigor mortis, so going for construction 5. We really want to get Mother Oak up. It is turn 26 already. We've got 563 research speed. We will burn through 0, 1, 2. So we'll hit 1. Because that's only 100, right? We'll hit... No, it's only 50. From 1 to 2 is 100. From 2 to 3 is 200. So we will burn up to 3. And we will need another turn for 5. Or for 4. And then we will need probably 2 turns after that for actually getting 5. Depending on whether or not we... right, like, if we continue to recruit and we don't have to do anything with our mages, then we could hit, by the time we get there, we could hit 5 in a single turn. But that's probably unlikely. So we're probably looking at 4 turns to get to construction 5. At that, we would then need a turn to make a Thistle Mace. So that's 5 turns, and then 6 turns from now being able to put up Mother Oak. Especially if we bank that entire time, we can put up a pretty robust Mother Oak. But that's a turn 32 Mother Oak. Still valuable for us, still extremely valuable for us, right? But it's possible that man goes for it before we can even get there, and fighting over it is going to be pretty difficult. That being said, we have seen, right, like man is using using gems on things like killer mantises, is doing more calls of the wild than we are now, right? Because we've kind of like stopped except for targeted strikes. So that's pretty interesting. Again, I don't know if this is the right call, but it is the decision that we make. So we're gonna have to see where this goes. I want to take a quick look at my composition here and point out a couple of things. One, we've got these 2 guys here, right? We've got these 2 lizard shamans. They are astral ones. And we've got 9 carrion behemoths right now. We also have a 10th one incoming from this little stack. This does matter. Obviously, we have a bunch of units here, a bunch of mannequins here, to the point to where we probably have enough to win out on that. What was I talking, like 5 to 6 to 1 ratio kind of like situation against the Knights of Avalon. But also, things like the Carrion behemoths are dangerous for other reasons, because they have fear, they have very high hit point totals, and because if we can do something like putting body ethereal on them, even though the Knights of Avalon do have magic weapons, they do not have a magic weapons bless, right? They just have the magic weapon on the alicorn, kind of that inherent concept. So body ethereal, still really good for avoiding a large portion of the Knights of Avalon's damage, which could be a very interesting prospect with dealing with this big stack. But again, much like last turn and the time before that and the turn before that, right, where it was off of Sylvania moving towards Vaclez, and then it was on Vaclez, and then it moved from Vaclez to Namor, right? Like, we've got to keep our cool, and we have to pull the trigger on the man stack at the right time. We don't want to squish... I mean, killing 10 or 20 knights would be amazing. That would be great, right? But if we blow our load on a small amount, this is actually really good for us. We want man to attack us. We want them to commit to something where we can take a fight. And honestly, probably we should have tried to commit to a fight this turn, because I bet they're going for Shadowglade. So we probably should have just picked up and moved to Shadowglade. Patrol with everything, pick up and move everything to Shadowglade. You know what? Another concern here is we do have 25 PD, but it's possible if he magic phased, maybe possible if he magic phased with the right stuff, he could fuck up our PD and lock us in Asphodel. It was also possible that he could just move straight onto Asphodel, leave a unit there, move on to Shadowglade. Ay. Alright. Hypotheticals. Things are heating up. Phaeacia's out of the bottle. Gotta put that genie back in there. Man threatening, posturing. But I don't feel bad about our chances in an actual fight against man. We've just gotta pick the right fight. It can't be an in-detail fight, and we can't let him do that to us. We've got to find a chance to bring this big stack to bear against what he has, and I think it will actually work. Another thing that I haven't really been talking about is again, we've been, this entire time that we have not been taking fights against man, we've been recruiting more and more Black Centaurs. So over the last 10 turns, over the last 5 turns, we've basically doubled the amount of Black Centaurs that we've had in Asphodel. Our production is now slowing down, but we are now at a point to where we feel better about committing to a fight with what we have, because again, the Black Centaurs less than 2-for-1, they do not exchange at a 2-for-1 with the Knights of Avalon. You kind of need like a 3-for-1, but 55 of these fuckers and 700 mannequins, that is an exchange rate that I do feel good about. 40 of these guys and 600 mannequins is an exchange rate that I feel less good about, right? So, like, we're moving on those kinds of concepts of margins. We're also really close to our mage base, which don't have a lot of options. I really want to test out this elf shot. And see if that works. Anyways, that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.